cold cappuccino. I'm ready for the stream. We gonna play some Pokemon Showdown again because I need to get a win. I need to, bro. Pokemon Showdown. Alright, now we're gonna do some reacts first. We're gonna play some Madden probably. Cool little stream. Yeah. Yo, I'm back. I haven't streamed in like 2 days though, but I'm back.
AM, my agent.
Going back to you, Ken, and Lake coming back together, you've had this relationship with Atlantic for so many years, of being signed to them. Y'all start Generation Now. And I mean, by this time, you finally was able to build a star. You had already went through a lot of different artists that you were not only doing their tapes, but curating and, you know, trying to sign shit. People probably wanted to sign to y'all, but now y'all got your own thing and nobody can tell y'all what to do. Generation Now starts. You gotta tell me that.
What's funny enough too is
it happened. Generation Now.
The way that name came about. Generation Now was a mixtape series first, before it was the name of the label.
Right.
And the reason why was because me and Cannon had got some drops from Kanye. This is before College Dropout. I got some drops from Joe Budden, Kanye, and maybe one other artist. And it didn't feel like a gangster release at the time. Mind you, I don't even know if I don't even think I had the full tape yet. This is before full project, right? So the music that we were gonna put on there it wasn't Gangsta Grills, so it needed a new title for a tape. So I was like, I'm about Generation Now. You know, I'm just thinking Kanye was in Joe Budden with the new niggas.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we're gonna call it Generation Now. So we named the tape Generation Now. Fast forward 10 years later, Lake is my manager. Lake started managing me in 2011, right around when I had left Atlantic as an artist, and I went over to E1, and I did Third Power Quality Street Music album. Me and Lake started working together. We were building. I had started building Meat Street Studios, finishing up building Meat Street Studios, and then Cannon started to come back around to do our Shade 45 show. So we were spending a lot of time together. At the time, we were, you know, like you said, you know, I had already curated, hosting so many mixtapes, like deals and situations, and there were a few artists that we were trying to sign or get into some situations with, and they didn't work out. And we literally, the three of us told ourselves, like, yo, we're not missing no more, bro. Like, we're not missing no more. I had came back after I had did 2 albums at E1. I came back to Atlantic as an A&R. Shout out to my brother Sam Crespo. Crespo put a good word in for me. He was like, yo, Drum's putting out some really good records. You guys should consider him to become an A&R. They hired me as an A&R. It took me a minute to find my footing. They were putting me with other artists that they had already had signed. And it just wasn't my style of what A&Ring was at the time. And, you know, Atlantic partnered with me on Mean Streets. And around this time was when Cannon, you know, literally, I remember him coming to the studio one day and be like, yo, I found this kid in Philly doing music. I didn't hear Lake of Music. I was like, man, go get them. You know, I just was like, it was just that feeling of not wanting to miss anymore. You know, there had been like 3, 4, 5 artists that are names in the game that we potentially could have signed. Who knows in hindsight how it worked out. But so yeah, you know, Cannon started courting Bert, and you know, he did a tape with him called The Real Uzi. That was the first project they did together.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Like he saw, you know, what our structure was. Like, you know, Lake was even in the beginning, like, you know, Lake always was the most business savvy of the three of us. Cannon, you know, when it comes to the music, he's the wizard. You know, I'm the spokesman as DJ Drama in a sense. So, and we had the studio, you know, first comes to Atlanta, he meets Doug. You know, we take him on tour with Khalifa, like that. Yeah. So we, you know, and you know, we literally when we did the deal, and we did it as a production company first. That was when we needed a name for the company, and we was like, how about Generation Now? And it started like that. Wow. And you know, our first artist out the gate was Bird.
I mean, one thing about Uzi, like, I remember.
Talk about a fantastic first artist. The first artist you signed to your new label was Lil Uzi. It's crazy.
The first time I heard about him as well, my homegirl Maddie was working with me down at Cuts, and Cuts was telling me, like, me and her was chilling.
You heard about him early.
Yeah. I had heard. I knew about. Yeah, before y'all signed them. So, you know, we always got them stories about it's 100 people you and myself could have signed, right?
Right.
And
Diamond Cuts, just to clarify, Cannon was listening to the Diamond Cuts on the radio, and she was playing them. So that's how we heard about them first too.
So what's crazy was at this time I'm breaking into my space and doing like management, right? Like, and it was right.
It was before you was working with East, or
it was right before I was working with East. I mean,
we did the tape in 2015.
2015. I met East. Yeah, I met East in 2013. I started working with him in 2014. But yeah, it was right around that time.
Yeah.
And her cousin, his cousin, Uzi's cousin, I forgot his name. But he had
Uzi's cousin?
Yeah. Diamond Cuts' husband.
Oh, you talking about
Maybe he don't want his name out there.
Nah, good kid. Damn, what's his name? Buzz,
yes.
Buzzworthy.
Buzz, he had hit me and he was like, yo, bro, I want you to work with me on my cousin, bro. And I'm like, who? He's like, Lil Uzi. And at the time, yeah, I did have East, because at the time I was like, when I got East, I was like, nah, I need to put my everything into this. And I was like, I really like Uzi, but I was like, I couldn't see a world where I could work with East and work with Uzi.
I understand that.
Either way. But I had to like put my eggs in one basket, and that basket was East. Right. But Uzi, bro.
Because I remember I got a picture from a time in New York where it's East, Uzi, and Post Malone.
Yeah, that was Post Malone's first show.
In New York.
We went to his show.
Yeah.
We went to Post Malone. Uzi opened up for him.
Yeah.
We went to, and then remember we went to Harlem after that.
Oh, we went
to El Porto. Yeah, we went to El Porto or whatever after that.
Got a picture.
Yeah, we got that picture, bro. That's a picture 10 years old.
Wow.
But yeah, man. I mean, y'all get Uzi, and then he becomes this global phenom, superstar, generational talent. And of course, you know what happens. Y'all still work together in some sort of capacity. It's bittersweet. But the toughest thing about doing this shit is doing it again.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And me and Cannon talked about it. I said when I seen, because remember how Instagram was working at that time. Whenever we had something new, we would all send it to our homies or whatever. We just posted. And I remember you, Lake, Cannon, anybody in your team had posted Dark Knight. And I was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this white boy rapping like this, you know what I mean? And then even at that time, you know, me having such a close relationship with y'all, being around Jack and seeing
sorry.
because he still was finding his foot in it, and then he becomes a superstar. You know what I mean? And it's a generation now. How does that feel after the years that we've been talking about all this?
It's crazy because like I felt like, I don't know, I've kind of felt like the underdog a lot of my career somehow, some way. Like even with all my success, you know, it was even after Uzi, and you know, as history is told, like, you know, we had at some point we had fell out with Bird.
Yeah, they had beef. Free Uzi era.
So during the success of it, I was saying it's bittersweet because it was you know, tough to enjoy it because, you know, we have an artist out here kind of putting dirt on our name, you know what I'm saying? And so it was, you know, to have Jack signed at the time and to be in business with Jack, like I really, you know, he was one of the most important people to wave the Generation Now flag, you know, at a time when one of the biggest artists in the game is shitting on us, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I credit him a lot for that. And, you know, when we signed Uzi, I think a lot of people looked at us kind of like with a grin, because it was this kid from Philly with purple hair that didn't rap like Siegel or Crack or
yeah,
Hill, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't.
He was ahead of his time, though.
Normal Philadelphia rap star, you know. And then we come with this white kid from Kentucky that looks like Napoleon Dynamite early when he's 17. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like we've always gone against the grain, but I saw the star in Jack early. I saw the wittiness in him, like just you know, even from when he was young, like he's just very quick on his toes. He's very comfortable in his own skin. You know, even with him finding his footing, and he put a lot of leg work in. Like that shit wasn't no overnight shit. Like I remember we signed Jack in 2017, was popping in hit till 2020 during COVID.
Yeah.
So you know, there was definitely some years of development, some mixtapes, some tours. I remember when Jack first told us he was taking this comedian named Drewski on tour with him, and he's like, "Where are you taking it?" Okay, cool. And you know, look at them now.
Yeah.
But you know, it feels good to be able to like have the legacy that I've had to, you know, to say like I literally came up, you know, doing mixtapes with the Roots of Amelia, to making history with T.I., Lil Wayne, and Jeezy, to, you know, signing Jack Harlow and Uzi Vert. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've run the gambit.
Run a gambit.
Hey. He definitely has his successes. Can't deny it. DJ Drama is one of them. It's hard to live off.
What y'all take on OBJ saying?
It's hard to live off 100 million. Is he serious? How much money you spending? Damn, bro, what are you doing? What are you taking a trip every day? That is crazy. That's crazy. What a trip, man, bro.
What y'all take on OBJ saying 100 million will not last forever?
That's a good time.
It won't, but
it will.
it could.
Yeah, pending. I told you.
He spend too much.
About $5 million for the rest of your life.
Yeah, bro, you better live a better life, bro. That's all that means.
Yeah.
What did he mean by that?
Basically, he was saying like,
Taxes.
sound like a lot, but after taxes and living, like 100 million ain't gonna last forever. And to which a lot of people said you need better spending habits or a better camera.
Where is he taking?
If you got 100 million,